I'm Deirdre Delaney, Principal of Stanhope Street Primary School. We're a DEIS Band 1 school in the inner city. And we have a great team, great staff, great pupils. The children love having visitors in, like Daniel coming in from KPMG today to read a story. They love to hear it from a different person and it's a great role model for them.
Hey guys, my name is Daniel. I'm from KPMG. Do you guys like reading? Yeah! Super! So we're going to read the book called Maybe today. It's by Chris Hawden and it's the story about three little monkeys and the adventures they get up to while their mom's away. Sound good? Yeah! Okay, cool, let's start.
KPMG are the title sponsors of the KPMG Children's Books Ireland Awards, and it fits really well into our overall corporate citizenship agenda. Education and lifelong learning is really important to us. So today we have KPMG volunteers visiting school groups across the island of Ireland. Daniel is one of our volunteers who's in Stanhope Street Primary School today to help them get excited about the books. It's really important to us to get back into the classrooms, see the children and bring all these projects to life.
What do you think will happen next in the story? Go.
The monkeys are going to go out to get some bananas.
Great.
It's very important in our school that the children engage in reading and it's fun, it's enjoyable and in different ways. So no matter what activity we do, we're involved in reading and in a fun way. We love books in the school and we're so grateful and I look forward to a continued relationship with KPMG into the future.
Good morning everyone and welcome to the KPMG Children's Books Ireland Awards. We have been waiting for 3 years to say that to a room full of people and we're so pleased not to be talking to ourselves anymore. We could not be more thrilled to welcome you to Merrion Square to the International Literature Festival Dublin, who are our hosts. It can be the loveliest literary pursuit. So most of us read by ourselves in quiet bedrooms, back gardens, or if you're my children walking around the house. And there's something really special in coming together as a community of readers, and that there are even more children and young people all over Ireland who are tuning in to watch the ceremony online. A special hello to our 348 junior juries up and down the island of Ireland. That's over 10,000 children who have been reading the shortlisted books for this year's KPMG Children's Ireland Awards. Mashiv, Tosil going Tanav Asve Eglev Lekela. As you might have seen in our video, our headline sponsors, KPMG, are readers like us. 51 of their people volunteered and went out to 45 schools in 14 counties this year to meet our junior jurors. Some of you might be here and we want to give you a big thank you if you've joined us today or you're watching online. We had such incredible feedback about how passionate KPMG's staff are and how they encouraged young readers to be creative and design their own book cover for one of our shortlisted titles. I know some of you are here today, so thank you for making such an effort to get out and meet some of our young readers. Over the 3 years, KPMG as our title sponsor has been incredibly flexible. When we were at home during the pandemic, their team made videos about their favourite childhood books to start conversations online and filmed themselves doing incredible book-related activities, not least making robots and baking cookies and a whole host of other things. We are extremely grateful to them for encouraging in this process. And we're so grateful that they want to share enthusiasm for reading just as we do, to celebrate the extremely talented writers and illustrators that we are so lucky to have here in Ireland and to have an awful lot of in schools, libraries and bookshops all over Ireland. Along with our funders at the Arts Council of Northern Ireland, Ecclesiastical Movement for Good, and our partners at the Belfast Children's Festival and today's hosts, the International Literature Festival Dublin, we feel supported by people who really value just as we do. And now on with the show. So, as ever, we are delighted to welcome back our wonderful host, the reader, writer, broadcaster and book lover, Mr. Rick O'Shea.
Oh, hello everybody and welcome to the KP Children's Books Ireland Awards. Before we do anything, isn't it lovely in here? Isn't this really nice? I want to give a sense to everybody who's watching at home, on camera, as to, because when we initially told about this is a giant tent in the centre of Merrion Square in Dublin that holds about 500 people. And it's pretty much full. I can see people as far as the eye can see here. Let's make some noise just to give you a sense of how everybody, and you can remember when your teacher said be nice and quiet, that's nonsense. So make as much noise as you want to now. Go for it. Just. That's good. That's good. I want you to hold on to that for when we're giving out awards later on as well, because that's the kind of level of enthusiasm I'm looking for at that stage later on, okay? Now, thank you to our venue partners, the International Literature Festival Dublin. For those who aren't in the tent but are tuning in at home, you are, of course, very welcome this year. 2022 marks 32 years of the award, the third year of Children's Books Ireland's partnership with KPMG. They're the only awards in Ireland that celebrate books created by Irish children's authors and illustrators and those living in Ireland. The criteria each year is excellence, ahead of any trends or economic considerations. The adult judges are completely independent and they read every book. Books eligible this year, bless them, 130 in total with no advanced screening process of any kind. This year's judges are, and maybe an applause at the when I've read all their names out, Gráinne Ní Bhfuilneoir, Dr. Sinead Moriarty, Dr. Mary Roach, young judge Cleena Jackson, Siobhan Callahan, Sue Miller, Joe Kelly, International Judge James Mayhew, Siobhan Shimara, Dave O'Callaghan, and Judge's Chair, Dr. Pádraig White. Give them all a big round of applause. Yeah. As well as that, and I think I don't need to tell everybody this about it, the KPMG Children's Books Ireland Award Junior Juries Programme is a unique activity for schools, libraries and for book clubs. It's designed to encourage children and young people to read widely, to engage with read in an innovative and an exciting way. We've some junior juries in attendance today and watching at home. Welcome to you guys as well. Young readers shadow the adult judges of the Book Awards panel in reading, discussing and assessing the shortlisted books each year. Later on, we're going to find out which book has been chosen as the winner of the Jury's Award this year. As you'll have seen in the opening video, some of those schools were lucky enough to have gotten a visit from KPMG volunteers, extending the organisation's dedication to developing potential via their corporate citizenship programmes. Now, we're going to enjoy another video, learning more about what junior jury members at King's Hospital School, Palmerstown and Lucan Community National School thought of the 10 books on this year's shortlist.
This book is about 3 monkeys and they like bananas and breaking rules. Monkeys that don't do what they're told, and they love mangoes and bananas. It made me feel happy and funny. The book made me laugh and it made me really happy. My favourite monkey is the smartest one because he's very smart, he's fast, and he's bored a bit. I learned that listen to your parents. I think people who like reading books should read it.
The Henna Wars.
Henna Wars is basically about this girl called Nishat. She just recently came out to her parents and they're not as accepting as she thought she would be.
I think my favorite character is Nisha because she doesn't care about what the people think about her. She just is herself.
I learned about more Desi culture and their cultural wedding and why henna is important to them, and family dynamics and how it can affect someone.
It widens your perspective on how culture can affect your life in more than one way.
I think the main thing of the book is to just be and to respect others. It's a really good book. The story is good and it's not really boring at any parts. I think it kind of parents, even if they don't understand what's going on with their children, they'll love them.
Rescuing Titanic.
This book is about the Titanic when it hit the iceberg and the Carpathia helped all the passengers be safe and be rescued.
They said the ship was unsinkable, but it opened an iceberg, and as it was sinking, it split in half.
I enjoyed this book very much, and my favourite character would be the Pomeranian called Lady.
This is my favourite page because it shows all the characters in the book, including the dog. I like dogs.
I didn't know much about Titanic before reading the book. It was very interesting because it was a real book and it wasn't just a fairy tale.
This one where they finally found Land Ahoy.
Shows Morse code alphabet up there.
Yeah, there.
And I never knew what Morse code was, and now I'm after learning a new thing, and that was Morse code. That was called learning.
Me feel a bunch of emotions. Sad, happy, excited.
And goes wild.
The book is about this girl who wants to save her grandma. Fred and Swaddle the light from the lamp, which helps her grandma get back home when she's done in the forest.
I really enjoyed it, and I think Cora was a brave girl, risking her own life for someone she really loved.
The illustrations were absolutely amazing. It was like a good book, and I feel like if other people read it, they might become nicer to everybody else and like just put them first instead of themselves.
I will recommend it to a friend who's might feeling a bit upset because it might help them feel loved and a bit warm, even though it's a winter book.
The Summer I Robbed the Bank.
The Summer I Robbed the Bank is about Rex, who lives in Dublin and goes to his uncle's house in Achill, makes new friends, adventures with them, and ends up robbing a bank with his uncle.
I enjoyed the book because it was really funny and they had a lot of fun and they explored a lot.
I liked reading how Rex got out of his comfort zone, and it was really funny as well.
It's very funny and there's lots of adventure and teamwork in it. Overall, it was a very good book and I loved it.
I learned how to rob a bank and I need a sheep to rob a bank.
I recommend this book because it's funny. It has a lot of adventure in it and it's just a good book overall.
The Shadows of Rookhaven. It's a fantasy book and it is the sequel to The Monsters of Rookhaven.
The book is set after World War II and there are monsters and humans and half monsters and humans. They are all coming for the Great Configuration.
I think the main themes of the book are knowing your roots and about your family.
Instead of like having chapters, it's like from different characters' perspective. It kind of like has a good, nice world to it.
I recommend this book as it is too hard of a read. And it is interesting.
How do you feel when you're reading the book?
I feel happy.
Not my problem.
Basically, she's living with her mum who's an alcoholic and then her dad left and she's focusing too much on trying to help other people. But it's also like quite fun, it balances out so it's not like a depressing story. Like it's very balanced out with humour and then sadness.
By the end of the book, like she's figuring out that like she doesn't like need other people's problems, that she needs to just focus like on her own and like fix herself first. And she finds new friends and like these new friends help her like grow and like make her feel better about herself.
I would recommend it to a friend because if they're like moves like coming out or like if they're like trying to like hide stuff but like help us, but they naturally like see like you have to like focus on yourself and like make sure you're okay.
There's a ghost in this house.
It's about a girl and she lives in a house and there's loads of ghosts but she's never found them. There's like see-through pages that you'll flip onto the page you've been reading and then a ghost would go here when you flip that see-through page. So no ghosts in the library and then when you flip it there's one and there.
You see this, like something and then they're just two eyes and then they pop out and then it's like a ghost.
I enjoyed the book because I got to read it to my little brother and my little brother has Down syndrome and he loves looking at pages that like ghosts pop up even though he was looking at it.
I really enjoyed the book because it was easy to read and I liked ghosts popping out everywhere and I loved that me and my dad had some fun reading it.
Gut feelings. It's a story about Kraus and it's like a coming of age story following him through his chronic illness.
We see him struggle with relationships a bit and kind of come to terms with himself and accept himself for both his illness and his sexuality.
I've read a good few verse novels before, but they tend not to do that much, like with it actually being a verse novel. But I feel like this book, it was really interesting, like the way like structured or like the fonts he chose or like the graphics or the pictures that he added to the pages. And also just as like pieces of poetry were actually really good pieces of poetry and really impactful.
A lot of books have endings which are really like overly happy and stuff like that, but this was more realistic. It wasn't too happy, but it showed him how he accepted himself and everything that makes him who he is.
I thought that it was great that it wasn't romanticized, because I can find a lot of the time with certain illness in books, and it can seem like it's a good thing to have them, or like that it makes your life more interesting, but we definitely saw his struggles a lot more.
I would recommend the book for more mature readers of an age like 16 and above. Definitely older people to be able to like handle the topics and themes that are within the book.
Clúsa Capel an Rí.
The book is an old Irish myth about a king who had horse ears.
And his parents didn't know what the people would think, if they'd accept him or not. So they told him to hide his ears, and he'd have to get his hair cut every year, and they'd kill the barbers so they wouldn't tell anyone.
When me tanna me was on Skelsa,
Bhí na picturí on Carol.
The book is about learning to accept yourself and to embrace like all different things. If you have horse ears or any flaw.
The book made me feel happy because I feel like if you're struggling to accept yourself, this is a great book to read to help you accept yourself.
No, I know you want to. It's perfectly acceptable to give a giant round of applause to everybody involved in that video. You have to. Oh. It's my favorite part of the ceremony every year. You guys are just brilliant. Okay, thank you, young readers. I'm now going to welcome Seamus, the managing partner of KPMG in Ireland, to present the Reading Hero Award. Seamus.
Thank you. And first of all, can I add my well done congratulations to everybody involved in the video. It was amazing and really great to see. So well done to you all. And as Elena said earlier, I'd like to wish everybody here a really warm welcome. It's brilliant to be here in person. We've had a few years of virtual events, which I think we've all had enough of, but it's fabulous to be here in Merrion Square in the heart of Dublin. The sun is shining outside, and hopefully we'll all get to enjoy it shortly. I'd also like the opportunity to say a big hello to all of you that are joining online. Can't borrow you this today, but hopefully you'll have the opportunity to be here in the future. So at KPMG, as both Rick and Elena have said, we're really passionate about the importance of education and lifelong learning. In our business, it's very important, but we think it's really important in society, and it really sets everybody up, particularly children, up for a really successful future and one that they're very happy in, and that's the most important thing is happiness. And I love reading, critical part, and we're very passionate about supporting of reading and doing everything we can to try and encourage people to read and to help them have some fun along the way. And doing that at an early age is really important, which is the reason why we're really delighted to be involved with Children's Books Ireland and this programme over the few years. So first of all, I'd like to say well done to all of the authors and illustrators that have written the books and drawn the pictures from right around the country and given us all the opportunity to love the books that we've had the chance to read over the last while. I'd like to say a big thank you and well done to Elena and the team in Children's Books Ireland for putting today on, but also the awards programme and all the other things that they do throughout the year. It's brilliant, and they play such an important role in an important topic. To my KPMG colleagues, you saw Daniel earlier, but all of the volunteers that were involved, all 50 of them are in different schools around the country. Some of you are here today, or hopefully some of you on have been. Well done to you, and indeed to Karina, Claire, and Claire who've helped put it all together from our perspective. And last, and certainly not least, to the parents, to the teachers, to the relatives, to the friends, and most importantly to the kid, for instilling and enjoying that love of books that is so amazing, right? And well done to all of you for being involved. So that's enough of my speaking, and now I'll get on to the most important topic, and that topic to announce the winner of the KPMG Reading Hero Award this year. This award is for a reader who deserves special recognition because of the love they've shown of books and how they've brought it to life throughout the year. And this year, the 2022 winner KPMG Reading Hero Award is Daisy McGill. Daisy is... Daisy is aged 8 from Seaview Integrated Primary School in Glenarm County. She was nominated by her teacher, Ashley Moran, for the countless hours she dedicates to reading. And she's the lucky winner of a €200 book token, and her school get a collection of books worth €1,000 in Glenarm. So well done, Daisy, and congratulations. Very well deserved. And now, quickly, I also want to just announce the names of the 5 runners-up in the Reading Hero Award. I commend them also for a huge effort in their reading efforts over the year. Each of these gets a €100 book token, and they are Finn Murray from County Cork, Conor McCartan from County Down, Oisin Callahan from County Galway, Charlie Hussey from County Longford, and Lily Bulger from County Wicklow. Well done, and congratulations to all of you. So that's it from me. I'm going to hand back to Rick now, and congratulations again to everybody, particularly to Daisy. Congratulations.
Oh, why didn't they have awards like that when I was a kid? I would have nailed that. It would have been brilliant. Okay, before we celebrate this year's 10 listed titles, we are going to enjoy a live performance. Please put your hands together, make a very loud noise for spoken word poet Go Hart.
How's everybody doing? I'm not going to use that. It feels like I'm giving a speech. I'm not giving a speech. So I'll be doing a couple poems for guys. It's a very big room. I was not expecting this. But I'm really happy to be here. My name is Go Hart. I'm a poet. And this very first poem is actually for the writers in the room or anybody that creates in the room. This one is called Legendary. When we are long gone, and our names only remain on tombstones and in the minds of ex-lovers, let it be said that we were here. And we painted streets the color of raised dust and rose red, and the sun never caught us in bed, except Sunday mornings with new loves. And we are long, long gone, with caskets now too big for our bones, and no weight on these shoulders except these 6 feet of unraised dust. Let it be said that we were alive once, that we raised the bar till it touched the sky. We broke down Jericho's walls and built Rome twice in 2 nights because we were legendary. Where we are long, long, long gone, and our stories are semi-fictions in the mouths of old gypsy women, tar stains on the great white lies of society. And our names are more famous than our face because the revolution will not be televised. Let it be said that we are not dead, that we live on through these words that we speak tonight. This is our truth. Our story, our war cry, this is our life. And no, we are not immortals, but we are infinite, unending, passed down from mothers to sons and fathers to daughters. So when they say we are long gone, let us leave something behind to stand in our defense. Be it words, art, or music, or a life saved, even if it is our own, or love. Let the people know we are more than ourselves, more than instruments for entertainment, both hands of God creating life out of the darkness that the world has placed before us. So when they say, Where did you come from? Tell them nowhere. We've been right here all along. Thank you. So my final piece, this one is called Lantern Smoke. I moved to Ireland about 12 years ago now. And I wrote this during the very first tough years. I was really battling with settling in and missing home because I came on my own. So this one is about like basically nights with my family. Smoke from the lantern was the misty gray of an uncertain sky. Brother, sister, and I were gathered around the dim light attempting to play a secret game of cards because Mother had told us it was bad for our eyes. Moore was losing as usual. He was barely 5. When we heard the all too familiar voice of thunder, "What did I tell you children about playing cards in the dark?" This is the recipe for all my favorite memories as a child. Outdoor mattresses and homemade fans were all we needed to spill the secrets of the day. Falling asleep, one child after another, but Mother stayed up to chase the mosquitoes from our skins and the nightmares from our dreams. This was where we found God. This was where we found love. The other day, I tried to count how many hours we spent together in the last 7 years. I stopped at 0. In the last 14 months, I could not go any further. I'm beginning to forget what lantern smoke smells like. I'm beginning to forget what their smiles look like. I've tried and failed 1,000 times to wipe tears over the phone, but distance doesn't pay to sympathetic lovers. So I miss you like fingertips miss palms when uncurling a fist to embrace the cold. Saying it's for the best. We always say it's for the best. Our roots, like me, must branch out to break ground. The apple doesn't fall from the tree, but must roll away from the shade to see the sun. My mother is the settling dust that brings the best out of all of us. So I know what she means when she says, "Don't come back." She means, be the best you can be. The world deserves you as much as we do. Wear your name as tight as your skin, and if they say either of them wrong, just correct them. The other day, I found an old lantern in a store on a street somewhere way too far home. The smoke didn't smell like I remembered. Thank you.
Let's make some slightly louder noise. Louder. Go hard. Go. Woo! Now, we are starting to get closer to the business of things. We're going to talk about the 10 excellent Irish books on this year's shortlist. As the judges have read 130 books this year's awards. To be shortlisted as just one of these 10 is a vast, huge achievement. I'd like to welcome on stage this year's young judge, Cleena Jackson, to present the judges' comments on each books. Cleena.
The Shadows of Rookhaven by Padraig Kenny and Edward Bettison. As monsters from all over the country descend on Rookhaven for the Great Configuration, an event that only takes place once every 100 years, Mirabelle says that she is being treated as an outsider. Meanwhile, Billy appears at the mansion, intending to bring chaos and destruction. Billy and Mirabelle realize that they must team up if they are to protect those they love. Kenny's brilliant second book about Rookhaven is a wonderfully paced story with truly excellent illustrations by Bettison, exploring ideas of loss, Difference, Forgiveness, Family, and Hope. Not My Problem by Kira Smith. Teenager Aideen seems quite capable of solving other people's problems, but struggles with her own life. Her mother's alcoholism, issues with her best friend, and falling grades. With humorous and witty dialogue, as well as complex portrayals that masterfully avoid cliché, this young adult novel weaves diversity seamlessly into its narrative. Smith's excellent writing and characterization ensure that the reader is drawn directly into an emotional and realistic tale of contemporary teen experience. This novel is hard times, also brimming with empathy and sensitivity. Cluas a couple Aaron Ree, Le Bridget Franach agus Shona Shirley MacDonald. Ibrion text agus léradí le chéile go hálinn san ahin sin seo de Larry Longseach, an rí a dhéanaan iirecht de celt go a cluas a couple trí gach bar a dhearan a chuid grúige a bharú, agus an mal din iad a chur ina dust. In sítar an legan fillete siodin scudin bhealachíntoch, ag siimplú hafras na tearsna ach gan é villa, ag a laidú na gnéthe dúrcha ach gan iad a chaile. Híon na léradí seo de chean léradí mion sonratha agus sanúsáid na nachana charachtar bheoga bháltacha sa legan ígur seo de cheanscéil a chuirtear a láthair a spruchtlacht le hóireacht ag go. Text and illustration work together beautifully in this retelling of Larry Longseach, the king who tries to hide the fact that he has horse's ears by killing and thereby silencing each barber who cuts his hair. This lyrical version of the tale is wonderfully told, simplifying but not detracting from the richness of the language, reducing but not losing the darker elements. The detailed illustrations and expert use of create vivid and engaging characters in the sensitive version of an old age story well pitched to its target readership. Gut Feelings by C.G. Moore. Told through free verse, this is a powerful coming-of-age story about Chris, who, at 11 years old, is diagnosed with a rare genetic illness that shapes his life in ways he never imagined. Moore draws upon his own experience to create an engaging narrative filled with darkness and light, despair and hope, fear and desire, and love and trust. Told with insight and honesty, this is a bold, complex portrayal of living with chronic illness, of sexuality, of body image, of health and well-being, and of growing up. The Henna Wars by Adiba Jaigardar. Irish-Bangladeshi teenager Nishat decides to tell her parents that she is a lesbian, but things don't really turn out as she'd hoped. When she begins to fall for her classmate and then transitions to business rival Flavia, life becomes even more complicated, and she must figure out who she is and what she ultimately desires. Jaigardar's wonderfully written and original text is an important story of first love that also explores issues of religion, race, sexuality, cultural appropriation, and identity formation in contemporary Irish society. The Summer I Robbed a Bank by David O'Doherty and Chris Judge. Following parent separation, Rex isn't impressed when he's sent to a remote Irish island for his summer holidays. That is, until he is roped into helping his strange and brilliant Uncle Derm in a crazy plan, inspired by tales of pirate queen Grace O'Malley, to rob the island's mobile bank and redistribute the money. This fresh, original narrative from Doherty, supported with illustrations by Judge, is a funny and subversive tale filled with poignancy and beauty that captured the magic of one momentous summer. Frindles by Natalia O'Hara and Lauren O'Hara. This charming tale centers on Cora, who must follow the mysterious Frindleswild into the enchanted kingdom of frozen summer to retrieve the light for her Tiffany's lamp. This beautiful and original story contains echoes of Hans Christian Andersen, as well as Russian folk tales, and features whimsical illustrations reminiscent of the work of Ivy Wallace. The quality of the hand-drawn illustrations, something increasingly rare in contemporary books, is outstanding, and the strength of the illustrator is apparent throughout. Maybe by Chris Houghton. This clever and engaging text from Texton is bursting with fun and joy as we follow three misbehaving monkeys who cannot resist temptation. Despite the threat of tigers lurking in the glass, they convince themselves that it will be okay just to venture into the jungle and taste a mango or two. Maybe. With the author's brilliant use of saturated colours of purple, blue, deep pink, magenta, and red, Mischievous monkeys and their jungle environment are skillfully brought to life in this page-turning tale that invites reader participation. Rescuing Titanic, a true story of quiet bravery in the North Atlantic. Flora Delargy. This debut book with stunning illustrations provides a different perspective on one of the world's most famous maritime disasters, the sinking of the Titanic. The focus this time is on the RMS Carpathia and its journey across the ice fields in an attempt to save passengers from drowning. Intertwining the stories of passengers and crews on both ships allows for a collective tale of heroism, while also paying respect to the victims of the catastrophe. Illustratively, the detailed hand-drawn art is excellent and reveals the extraordinary research behind the project. There's a Ghost in This House by Oliver Jeffers. This wonderfully playful book from Jeffers provides a fun and enjoyable read through innovative use of form, as readers are guided by a young girl through a house that she believes is haunted, but she hasn't actually seen any ghosts. We soon realize that we can see more than she does if we just take the time to turn the pages correctly. This beautifully produced and expertly crafted book is original and imaginative in its use of counterpoint, with words and multiple illustrations presenting the reader with differing perspectives. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Cleena. We're about to get to the awards. I know you're all wilting. I can see everybody doing this out there going, oh my God, it's so warm in here. It wasn't so warm in here when we started. This is what happens when you put 500 people in a room in a tent and they all start breathing on top of each other. Now, I want to do two things first of all. It's going to seem hugely remiss if I don't get a selfie with you all. So can I have a selfie with everybody, please? Okay. You're going to have to do just wave your hand, do some sort of thing. I don't know what it is. Let's try one version of this. Okay, here we go. Not bad. Okay, hang on. I think that's okay. Does that work? I got a picture of you. It's all good. Second thing, for those people who are about to come up and win awards, have all their mates here with them usually. Some of them do. Some of them have brought their mates. Good morning, all. Good morning. How are you? How's it going? Well, and all. So you're going to have to be their mates when they win the awards. So if someone wins an award, you have to go absolutely crazy and give them the big whoo they need before they get up to the stage, and then wait and then get up to the stage and still do the Going to do practice really quickly. So somebody has just won something. Yay! Well done. A bit of woo 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 will also go a long way. Thank you. Now, right, let's get cracking. Our first award of the day is the Honor Award for Fiction. It goes to Padraig Kenny for The Shadows of Rosehaven. This is all going to happen very quickly, by the way. This is all good. This is all rattle through all of these. Our Honor Award for Illustration this year goes to Lauren O'Hara for Frindleswild. Doing a brilliant job so far. Well done. The next award is the ILFDublin Award for a First Children's Book. Presented, I'd like to welcome Cormac Cormillanon, the son of author ILFDublin, for whom the award is named.
Wow, yes. You are numerous. It's always great to see the winning book in the ILFDublin Award. For a first-time writer, it's not just the quality of the book itself, but the feeling that a new talent has been launched in the challenging field of children's literature. Writing for young readers is not easy, and therefore congratulations to everybody who has taken the plunge for the first time this year. I'm going to say a little about a book and then announce the winner. I'm afraid some will guess while I'm still talking about the book who the winner might be, but that's just because I didn't revise my speech properly. The book in question is an amazing achievement. We all thought we knew the story already. This is a clue, anyway. Yet we are surprised every time we turn a page and look at a new spread of picture and text. Switching focus from the huge Titanic to the smaller Carpathia, the rescue ship, is a stroke of genius, because without glossing over the terrible disaster, it does become a tale of hope, which we can do with at any time. And the informative text fits perfectly with the pictures. The story and all the background information, which is complicated, is given in clear, sober style, not a word wasted. Every spread is new and exciting. The suspense is powerful, even painful, as we are dragged through this book, gripped by our own curiosity and the author's creative skills. At the end, you just want to turn back and read it all again and notice the details that you might have missed, like the end papers with 2 ships and some compasses, 1 ship with 4 funnels, one with just one. And the contents that are floating on a blue Atlantic globe with no land in sight. It's quite sinister, really. We meet some passenger crew from the ships. There's one little girl wearing a red dress. Will we see her again? We meet the captain of the Carpathia, a nostalgic figure holding a large fob watch for some reason. But then that innocent little timepiece morphs into a clock face that pops up on various pages and records the hours of panic and the frantic race against time as the steers through the icebergs, trying to save as many Titanic passengers as is humanly possible. Did I say dark? It's night for most of the time. One of the really powerful features in the book is the sparing use of light colors and the silhouettes of black-coated people rushing to their tasks or huddled in groups. It's such a relief when the morning light finally returns. We see one little girl being hugged by her mother on the only spread that has no text at all. It's a very deeply, that's an unfortunate word, a deeply moving and powerful book. A wonderful achievement and a worthy winner, Flora Delargy, writer, illustrator of Rescuing Titanic.
Now, next up, it is going to be the Judges' Special Award, which this year goes to Adiba Jagodar for the Hen Award. Adiba is not with us, so accepting on her behalf is young Judge Cleena Jackson. The next award, voted for by the junior juries all across the country, including some of you guys in this room. To present it, I'd like to welcome Emily, Sean, Matthew and Arnav from Lucan Community National School. Oh, you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Oh, you can hear me now. This is good. This is good. That's when I'm going to have a conversation. Give him a big round of applause for coming up on stage. Now, we're waiting for one more, are we? Come on, Arnav. We really want to see you up here. Say hi. Take a bow. Good man. Welcome along. Now, guys, so who is going to talk about this? Who is going to do the Who's going to the... It's Emily. Hi. Very exciting. Because now you have a piece of paper. The piece of paper will tell you who the winner is going to be. And the winner is going to be... Who's it, Emily?
The winner of the Junior Juries Award is Ajiba de Garda for the awards.
Thank you, guys. Well done. You're brilliant. Cheers. Thank you. And again, accepting on her behalf is Junior Lena Jackson. Lena gets 2 awards today, and she didn't even have to write anything, which is good work for anybody. Now, our final award, the big one, is the KPMG Children's Books Ireland Book of the Year for 2022. Winner of that is... I think this deserves one of those things where you get your feet and you just rattle them on the floor like that, create like a drum roll thing. So can you do that? I'm hoping you're not going to break while you're doing that as well. It's good. I like it, though. I like the tension. The winner is C.G. Moore for Gut for Things. You have to talk. You have to make a speech. Go.
So I was convinced that I wasn't going to win anything, so I brought a tram ticket with 6 names on the back. Because I was write a big speech and I don't win, it's bad luck. So I'm going to read out the 6 names. This isn't very exciting at all. So my granddad no longer with us. My granddad had the same illness that I did. My mum, who's there filming me very proudly in the blue, is an absolute hero. What I went through was incredible. If you think my journey or my story is difficult, my mum has been there every step of the way, through every scar, every drop of blood, every blood test. You know, finding out at 11 and being told that you're not going to live to see anyone if you don't have surgery, having your colon removed, living with an ileostomy bag. I could not be here without my mum, and I know it's quite strange as well. We were listening to Ace of Base today, which is a story I used to dance when I was like 2 years old in nappies. It was my granddad's song, so it was kind of strange that all this is happening. I couldn't have done this without my publisher either, Hazel, Charlotte, and also the amazing designs, the book covers, everything is down to Becky. I really couldn't do this without this. Thank you for Hazel for taking a chance. This isn't a book that would... Oh my gosh, sorry. This is like my workshops. It's like I keep talking and then forget to breathe. At least I have an excuse this time. But yeah, I couldn't do this without them for taking a chance. I'll try and run through this really quickly. Jake Hope is an absolute inspiration in the children's book world. Anyone that knows him, anyone that has had conversations with him will know him. He edited my work and he also worked with Becky to create those designs. For anyone that's got chronic illness or a disability is going through that, and also LGBTQ+, just know that you are seen. We see you and we hope that this brings a bit of light to your stories. Anyone that's read the book as well, just thank you so much for the support, and thank you to my family. I would be shocked if I do not say Georgina Moore, who is my sister, because I always forget her and she never lets me forget it. And she also did write a really sweet card to say look. So if you are watching this online, which I know you are not, Georgina Moore, thank you, and also to my dad. But yeah, thank you so much to everybody. I asked Becky to help me. I feel like I'll drop this award, it's really heavy. But thank you so much.
Congratulations. I love it when somebody gets overwhelmed. I do. That concludes this year's KPMG Children's Books Ireland Awards. Congratulations to all of our winners. Thank you to the award sponsors, the title sponsor KPMG and MG partner ILFDublin. Most of all, huge well done to the young of Ireland, to everybody in this room. And now you can throw open the doors and all go out and run in the cool outside. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you.
you.